It's been a hot minute. Hi. So, I have some really sad news today. Unfortunately, I've had to cut out coffee. It's been making me feel real anxious recently, and so I've had to get rid of it.
No! God, please, no!
No more cappuccinos, no more long blacks, no more cafe lattes.
You can't put a limit on my cafe lattes. It says so right here.
But not to worry, I've got tea now. Look at that! Wow! So, today's topic, the Looney Tunes Show. Not the old one, the one from 2011. So yeah, the Looney Tunes Show ran from 2011 to 2014 and was abruptly cancelled due to it being a little bit special.
My God. What did he say?
It was decently popular, but it seems that it became more well known after its cancellation when it received a bit of a cult following, me being part of it. Though I was watching it more when it was actually airing on television. I have the box set if you want to see. As you can see, I'm a bit of a big fan. I've got all of season 1 on DVD here. I don't have season 2 because unfortunately they never actually released season 2 on DVD. I don't know why, it makes me really sad. Kind of gives you more of an understanding of video piracy. But anyway, I reckon the reason why people found this show so jarring at the time, specifically the Warner Brothers executives, was because it was a little bit more unique than it had any right to be. The older Looney Tunes cartoons followed its own formula, with a character being set in a random scenario and random shenanigans ensues. Say Bugs was a lumberjack and someone tries to steal his wood. Maybe someone's going hunting and he gets involved with a rabbit and a duck having a gunfight. Whereas the older cartoon would have some of the characters set in a randomly generated scenario and having slapstick sequences ensue after they meet. This show followed a sitcom format despite being an animated cartoon show featuring Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. And really it's an odd show to watch because it's basically just what if the Looney Tunes characters were in a Seinfeld episode. But I find that to be its charm. Personally, Seinfeld is my favorite show, so it gets points for that. But also, I think that these characters surprisingly work really well in a sitcom scenario. For instance, Bugs Bunny kind of parallels the character of Jerry Seinfeld. He's a relatively quiet guy who keeps to himself, but he's got a lot of weird friends that he finds to be either annoying or he doesn't respect as much as he respects himself, but he still keeps them around because deep down he cares about them to some extent. One of these characters being his deadbeat roommate, Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck in the original cartoons was a bit of a troublemaker. He wasn't as quick-witted or clever as Bugs, and he even rivaled Bugs Bunny in a lot of episodes and sometimes played a villain-adjacent role. And in this show, he is an awful person. Genuinely terrible. Some of the things that Daffy does in this TV show, especially to their friend Porky Pig, is so abhorrently bad and immoral, it's enough to make you hate him. And yet, he's the best character in the whole series. He's so funny! And the voice acting, may I say, for this character is genuinely amazing. I don't know who it is playing him. Actually, who is it? Give me one sec. Jeff Bergman!
Well,
Jeff Bergman does a great job. Another thing this show does is it keeps everyone in a consistent location where you can learn more about the world and the other characters and their relationships to each other as the show progresses, like you would with any sitcom. Whereas the original cartoon of Looney Tunes had the characters in a different scenario or a different location or position in different episodes, and it could vary in what they wanted to do that episode. This show, just like any other sitcom, does have its own formula. However, the fact that it's animated allows the show to have more leniency with the sort of plots that they can do. You can have more slapstick humor, you can have more cartoony humor because it's animated characters. It's also interesting because aside from Bugs, Bunny, Daffy Duck and some of the other original characters, most of the people in this world are quite simply just humans, just regular people. So it's funny seeing all these animal characters that can talk living amongst the humans and no one questions it or thinks it's weird, they just sort of accept it as just a normal day in the suburbs.
Ah, the suburbs. Fostering the illusion of success since 1950.
But this show did something very, very special for the Looney Tunes brand. Something that another movie in the brand failed to do, but this one took what they did and made it better. And I'll get to it in 1 second. This is Lola Bunny, or at least it was Lola Bunny in the 1996 movie Space Jam, a film about the Looney Tunes characters teaming up with Michael Jordan to play basketball against a team of aliens. Many people look back at this movie very fondly and think it's really great. It's not, but despite that, this movie did still introduce us to the character of Lola Bunny, and she was an awful character. In fact, she's barely even a character at all. Her only reason for existing was to give Bugs Bunny a love interest. But in season 1, episode 2, members only, the Looney Tunes Show took this empty vessel of a character and turned her into a crazy, ADHD-driven, possibly schizophrenic bunny who is desperately in love with Bugs. And it was the best thing that the show ever did. Unlike Space Jam, where Bugs was pining after Lola awooga style, he actually finds her incredibly annoying and even mentally draining, until of course the episode Double Date, where Lola finally convinces Bugs to give her a chance, where the show also introduces the character of Tina, another original character who later becomes Daffy's girlfriend. In fact, both of these characters are some of the best Looney Tunes characters, and they only exist because of this show. Sure, I should say that Lola Bunny only was reinvented in this show, but that would mean acknowledging that this is a character. And I don't want to do that. Lola Bunny is a very flawed, imperfect person, but she works as a perfect partner for Bugs. Because of her unpredictability and craziness, she allows for Bugs, who is a bit more of a keep-to-himself kind of guy, to be a bit more patient and learn more understanding for other people, also helping to improve his friendship with Daffy. Whereas Tina, who is a much more grounded individual, helps Daffy to learn how to humble himself and get a firmer grasp on what it truly means to love someone. I think that both of these characters were important to add to the show. They allow the characters to be more than just Looney Tunes. They're real people now, and they have feelings. And I think that both relationships do an equally good job of developing the characters further in an appropriate way that suits the tone of the show. Lola and Tina appeared a decent amount in season 1, but they both got really, really great reception, and it allowed them to appear in most of the episodes of season 2, and they became more familiar faces. And that is the best thing that this show did for the brand, and allowed for us to have more characters in this already incredible roster. Well, after that little rant. Now, if you actually want to watch the show, there are some really great episodes I can suggest to help start you off, some of them being members only, father figures, customer service, Senpai, beauty school, You've Got Hate Mail, Working Duck. They're all pretty great. I honestly like pretty much all the episodes, except for the Sylvester and Tweety Bird episodes. They're kind of forgettable. But other than that, the show for the most part is extremely consistent, and almost every episode is a hit. I reckon the best episode in the show is probably Customer Service. I think that's my favorite one. There's a channel I watch called, I think it's called the Alpha J Show, so I'll put a little thing with his channel down below there. He does a lot of videos on the Looney Tunes Show, or at least he has in the past. I'm not sure if he still talks about it anymore, but his videos on it are very, very insightful, and he does a really great job of breaking down all the reasons why certain episodes are genius, basically. But on to the next thing. Why does the Looney Tunes Show deserve better? Well, it's quite simple. The show was cancelled after season 2 ended. It's sad, I know, especially because the show is so good. But apparently, the sarcastic humor and dry jokes didn't appeal to younger audiences, and the Warner Brothers executives did not like that aspect of it, and decided it did not deserve a season 3, because they wanted to make a spin-off show called Rabbit. later renamed New Looney Tunes. And Wabbit sucked! It was awful. I remember seeing the first episode when it came out. Baby Saxon was not happy. And so the amazing magnum opus of a show that is the Looney Tunes Show ran from 2011 until 2014 and only managed to scrape together 2 seasons, both consisting of, I think, 26 episodes each. So we got 52 episodes. We deserved more, but it's okay. It's gonna be alright, because I'm sure that one day we'll get season 3. If we just make enough noise. Maybe HBO Max will pick the show up or something, I don't know. But anyway, that's all I have to talk about for today. So, that's all, folks. Finally done with the video.
What video?
Oh! Jeez, you scared me!
So, is this the new video you're making?
Yeah, the new video that I'm making.
What's it about?
The Looney Tunes Show?
Nice, nice. So, can I be in it?
No, dude, you can't be in it.
But you let me be in the Addams Family one.
Yeah, for a bit.
Isn't this a bit?
Is it?
I think it is.
Oh. Well, then you can be here.
Nah, never mind. I don't want to be in it anyway.
Wait, what? Why?
It's just not good.
What do you mean it's not good?
Nothing. I just mean it's not good.
Yeah, well, do you think that making videos is easy? Because it's not.
Yeah, it's kind of easy.
No, give me a break.
No. So, what you doing?
I don't want to talk to you.
What are you doing?
I said I don't want to talk to you.
I'll be in your video.
Really?
No.
Oh,
But I could give you some advice.
I'm listening.
Maybe you could try going a bit more in depth. I noticed you didn't talk about Porky Pig.
What do you mean I didn't talk about Porky? Of course I talked about Porky. I mentioned him.
Mentioned him.
Yeah, I see your point now.
So could you try including him a bit more?
Yeah,
Do you remember that theory you told me about the other day?
I think I do.
Maybe you could talk about that.
Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I've returned to talk about a certain character. One that I have overlooked in the past. One that many people have overlooked. Porky Pig. Why do we overlook Porky Pig? Why does he escape our attention? Is it because he's so forgettable? The nice fellow that says hi to you when you're walking past him on the street, but you don't think to say hi back because you don't want to get trapped in a conversation. Or is it something more sinister? Is Porky Pig secretly a supervillain? Throughout the show, we notice he doesn't really do anything to offend anyone. He doesn't try to get involved in the drama. He doesn't hurt anyone. He doesn't let out his inner pig. He doesn't show any aggression of any kind or any disapproval of his awful friend Daffy Duck. Except for one instance. Season 1, episode 23, timestamp 11 minutes and 3 seconds. Porky Pig, after having $365,000 taken from him by Daffy Duck so that it can be spent on a yacht, enraged, in fury, attacks Daffy vigorously on said yacht and almost tears him apart. Was this well-founded rage or merely a glimpse into the real personality behind Porky Pig? Season 1, episode 25, Murder, we see Daffy Duck slowly becoming more aware of Porky's secret schemes, as he begins to believe that Porky Pig is actually a murderer in hiding, the Suburban Strangler. Now, we later find out that Porky isn't actually the Suburban Strangler, but does this mean that he is innocent? Nay, nay. We find out later in season 2 that once upon a time Bugs Bunny was actually secretly Super Bunny and can be destroyed by a certain material called kryptonite. And I suspect that in season 3 that we never got of the Looney Tunes Show, we would discover that Porky Pig was actually Lex Luthor in disguise, and he was planning to infiltrate Bugs Bunny's social circle by pretending to be nice and sweet and innocent so that he could kill him. But that's just a theory. A film theory. Oh. Alright guys, I'm really tired after all the lack of caffeine, so I'm just gonna go to sleep now. The Looney Tunes Show is a show, and it does exist, and you can watch it. Anyway, bye. Why are you watching me sleep? Go away!